Boys and girls, I'm Randy Ritchie. This is Women Wrestlers You Should Know, sponsored by Premier Pro Wrestling, being brought to you without YouTube ads. So if you'd be so kind, please like, subscribe, and help support Premier Pro Wrestling. Links in the descriptions. I'm here with one hell of a well-traveled, and I'm going to go ahead and still call you young man,
Yes, sir.
Casey James. Now, Casey spent a lot of time on the island in Puerto Rico for IWA Puerto Rico. And years ago, has it been 20 years yet?
Almost.
He was telling me back then about a female wrestler on the island who dominated the competition. Didn't she dominate against men in the ring as well?
Oh, absolutely.
La Tigressa. Now I'm going to hand this bad boy over to Casey, and we're going to learn about La Tigressa.
La Tigresa, yes. Tigresa, I think, broke in for Carlos Colon, WWC, in like 90, 91.
Jeez.
So I showed up on the island like 2003-ish, ended 03, beginning of 04.
Mm-hmm.
And she was already well established, but talk about, I mean, what a sweetheart, first off. A lot of people, no one's ever, like she kind of, she's unheralded. She should get a lot more credit than she probably gets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she was one of the female superstars in Puerto Rico through the 90s and into the early 2000s. What a worker, great worker. I mean, she was tough. I mean, there's a match on YouTube you got to look up, her versus Miss Texas. And they beat the shit out of each other.
I'm going to go ahead and find that and post the link in the description, folks, because we love Jacqueline as well.
Wow, man. That was for Carlos in maybe 94. But, man, stuck in the business. She was actually, and then also managed, believe it or not, she managed the Glamour Boys when they first came to the island, which was Glamour Boys Shane Sewell, and Val Venus at the time, Sean Morley.
Val Boski.
Yes. She was the manager of those two. Then when I got to IWA Puerto Rico, she was part of the La Familia, Ray Gonzalez's heel group. And at first, she managed Thunder and Lightning, which me and Shane worked against, and she was the manager. And then when I turned heel, she became the manager for me and Chet the Jet.
Oh.
Yeah. So me and Tigressa, I tell you what a tough individual. Could work with the boys, could drink with the boys.
Jeez.
I mean, could run the road with the boys. I mean, she was just unbelievable. And what a nice person. I loved La Tigressa. Just a tremendous individual.
Isn't it amazing how that happens? You're truly tough people in the industry end up being absolute sweethearts.
Yeah.
I mean, go back and check out our Luna Vachon. And also, for example, Haku.
Yeah.
Sweetest
she
people
was
in the
so
world.
believable, though, that you could put her with cruiserweight guys, and it was believable. People bought it because she would kick the shit out of them. Dude, she had guns, she had arms.
Yeah.
All
I've seen the
all
pics.
tatted up, had a forehead like Luke's. All just, that's the first thing you see. I'm like,
Sure.
That's the first girl I see when I get to the Puerto Rican locker room. All the veterans, all the boys. Of course, there was a lot of color in Puerto Rico, all gigged up. Then look at Tigressa. She's got a forehead like Abdullah the Butcher. I couldn't believe it, So, I mean, just like I said, what a lost gem right there. And I don't want to say lost because she's still over on the island. A lot of people remember.
But the lost being
when you ask me which women I wanted to do this week, she'll always have a place in my heart, La Tigressa. What an individual, what a performer. And she, like I said, she managed me and Chet the Jet, and we could do all kinds of things with Tigressa because she was believable. She could get involved. I mean, so, like I said, she was perfect. I couldn't have asked to have a better manager than La Tigressa.
Let me ask, do you ever think of Tigressa as the one that might have got away?
All the time. I should have 10 kids with Tigressa and live on the island.
What was her size?
She wasn't real tall. She was
cool.
probably like 5'8", but put together, built, believable.
She doesn't look big enough to be muscling guys, so God bless.
Yeah, she was tough, boy, tough.
There it is, folks. Don't forget, celebrate, commemorate Women's History Month. I think we're almost halfway through the month here, and we're commemorating one female wrestler a day. and we're hitting them where they ain't, covering the girls that you should know that you don't know. And I think what you meant to say as far as loss goes, I think that it's the industry's loss not having her have more exposure in the
If
mainstream.
she would have broken 5 years ago, if she was in today's female division, she would have definitely worked for
That's what I
WWE
mean.
because she would have been a believable heel.
Sure.
She would have been a totally believable heel.
And that's a loss for us in the industry and the fans.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, don't forget, being brought to you, sponsored by PPW, Premier Pro Wrestling. No YouTube ads or commercials. Please like, subscribe, check out Premier Pro Wrestling's merchandise on Pro Wrestling Tees, and you're not going to spend any better money on streaming than you will Premier Pro Wrestling on Patreon. Women wrestlers, you should know.